Foreign Policy Council, Ukrainian Prism. Dr. Shelest, you're very knowledgeable about this subject. We understand you're joining us live from Kiev. So first, I hope you're doing safe. I hope you and your family are doing fine right now.
Thank you very much. I'm on the south now in the biggest seaport of Ukraine, Odessa, and we've also been under attack since yesterday. Luckily, not so heavily as the north of the country and the capital, but for us, we are the headquarters of the Ukrainian Navy, so we are expecting each hour the new attacks from the sea.
Dr. Shelest, we've seen images of tanks in Odessa. Are those images real? Has Russia taken control of Odessa, where you are located right now, or is Ukraine still in control?
No. The city is completely under the control of Ukraine. We don't have the land fighting yet here. We had only the airstrike against the city. The pictures of the armored vehicles or the tanks that you could see in the downtown, they belong to the Ukrainian Armed Forces and National Guard because they need to protect critical infrastructure and to be prepared.
Dr. Shelest, a lot of claims are being made of, troops having been killed on both sides. There are claims that are coming in. You're a security studies expert, so you know that there's a lot of misinformation happening at this time. Can you give us your assessment of what kind of damage has been done? We're seeing very disturbing pictures from Kiev, Kharkiv, and other places.
Officially, the losses that we have from tomorrow, it is 137 Ukrainians being killed. Approximately half of them are civilians. Most of these civilians being targeted by the airstrikes, but some of them around Kharkiv being killed from the tanks. They were just civilians in their cars. The airstrikes this night would confirm probably additional losses even in the morning because several heavy strikes and missiles fall just in the mid of Kiev, of the capital, and one of the aircrafts fall down on one of the buildings, so it was a huge fire. The situation is definitely changing all the time. From the Russian side, we have approximately confirmed 350. We have the fighting continuing around the airports, the military airports, where the Russian forces tried to land. So we cannot confirm the exact numbers because the fightings are continuing. The question is that we already definitely have the situation, as you reported, of some Russians being either captured or surrender. We had, for example, the military reconnaissance team yesterday who surrendered. Let's see how the developments are happening. This information is not making that much public for the security reasons.
We have pictures of the two Russian paratroopers that the Ukrainian government has just announced that they've taken captive at this point of time. We've got those pictures on our screen, Doctor. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening in Kiev? Through your network, we've seen images of a great deal of destruction happening there, claims of an aircraft being shot down as well. Clearly, this is a situation that is escalating and becoming worse.
Yes, my close relatives are there, my aunt and uncle are there, and most of my friends, because the headquarters of our organization is in Kiev, we are in the constant contact with them. Most of them spend their night in the shelters in the basement of the building. Some of them evacuated to the shelters, the elderly people, early in the morning when the fighting resumed. Most of the men from the age of 25 to 50 are now lining to the territorial defense to join the armed forces of Ukraine in their region. Because you need to understand that territorial defense forces is not the same as the army reserve. Those are in fact from the very beginning, and territorial defense, that is civilians who would like to protect their towns. So now there are huge lines in most of the Ukrainian cities of the young men and women who would like to sign this contract with armed forces and to help their country.
Dr. Shelest, in your assessment of what's playing out in the nature of the Russian invasion, the nature of the Russian attack, do you believe that civilians right now will be safe in their homes or must be immediately moved to safe houses and shelters?
Civilians are completely not saved, and we see it from the very first day what buildings and where being targeted. The Russian president announced that he is going to protect or defend the separatist region, but try to imagine that a lot of the strikes happen, like for example, Odessa is 800 kilometers from the uncontrolled territory. Lutsk, where they bombed airport, it is 900 kilometers from there. So it's definitely not in terms of defense. The goal of the Russia is very simple: Ukraine to surrender and Ukraine to be part of Russia. And that is something what the Russian president, if you hear his speeches within the last week, but we've heard it for all 20 years, he doesn't recognize Ukrainians as the independent state. And he doesn't recognize Ukrainians as a nation, what is really funny considering that Ukraine on the map appears something like in the 11th century. And he is creating myths about the history that are just in his very surreal and in his head.
Dr. Shelest, stay safe. Thank you very much for giving us your time at this very difficult juncture for your country, for you, your family. We wish you well. We hope to speak to you again in a few hours. Check up on you, get more information. Thank you for your time. We really value it here. Those images, Akshita, that's coming in, along with these voices coming in from Ukraine.